And we're live.
Man, let me send this thing out.
Vikings on a bye last week too, right?
It was Jets Patriots. I didn't get
correct.
I didn't get eyes on any of that.
Did you say automatic?
Vikings bye week last week.
They were on a bye.
Yeah, Vikings, Steelers.
It's like 6 teams on
Bills.
The largest bye week opt-in, and
Cowboys.
Cowboys were on a bye as well. Vikings, Steelers.
Browns.
No, Browns played Thursday.
Who they play? Oh, they did play Thursday.
Cheers.
Friendly reminder, we're alive. Cheers, all that good stuff.
Bro, what else you drinking besides the beers today, man? Good old scotch, huh?
Polish off a little Tito's tonight.
Almost bought that today.
Proud sponsor of the podcast. Yeah.
Good.
All right, man. I'm ready. Well, let me throw back one of these shots. Might be shotgun one of these beers as well. Just to get the blood flowing, you know?
Of course.
Catch up, Ron.
All right. Just about ready. Send some tweets out, all that good stuff. Rome, the week of about a month from now. So this is week 8, week 9, week 10, week 11, week 12. The week of week 13.
Vegas?
No, you gotta relax. Well, maybe I don't know, but we're gonna stream on Wednesday that week, and I'm gonna try to do a turnaround for Thursday and test run. So we'll see if anybody's listening out there or watching right now. We're gonna try to attempt a Wednesday on week 13, and then try to do that all year next season. But just trying out some new things. Lines changed a ton last week, really opened my eyes, Rome. It was just like, even when I tried to cut up the videos, it was like, oh, this went from 3. And even today, I mean, the opening numbers, I sent out the first pod sheet, and I was like, oh, those are, that was when I first edited them Sunday night or Monday morning. And now
openers they were.
Yeah, the Bengals were laying 4, and now they're laying 10. Like, oh my, like, so shit like that should be changing. So week 13, we're gonna try that out.
Look up, Marlon. Say cheese. All right.
Let me send this to my good man. And no, not yet. That's the thing, though, man. I feel like I heard somebody say it recently. I was like, hold on.
Mike Curry good for it?
No. I'm saying like somebody like outside of us. I was like, hold on. All right. I'm recording. Yes, we are live. Let me bring up the stream so I can see some comments, stuff like that. Mute.
Week 8. We are halfway there. To where?
Yeah.
The armpits of hell with sports handicapping, be in the thick of basketball and no more football after this. Goodness gracious.
Got a long ways to go, Rome. Got 12 more weeks, man.
After this,
more than that, actually.
After this, I mean, it's just, when is opening day?
Oh, God.
This guy.
Get me the hell through basketball season. When the kids start?
The kids start in about 3 weeks.
The kids.
All right. They seem to do me better than the professionals. I think Lakers cover that line tonight.
2.5.
Lakers?
Yep, especially with the LeBron news out. I think the Lakers cover that line.
Look at Rome talking.
Yeah, like what?
Ooh,
Work, man.
Rome
Like,
talking
what?
basketball. Ooh.
I can't,
It's the
can't be
Tito's.
shitty at handicapping basketball forever.
I
Cheers.
feel that.
It's the Tito's.
Cheers, gentlemen. Let's get it started. I'm drinking seltzer water, by the way. I won't say the brand though. No free promo.
Free promo.
All right, y'all. Let's get it started. And we're back. Annie Up Consultant presents What's the Line podcast, week 8. Guys, gentlemen, it's good to see all the fresh faces. Once again, back again. We're gonna go to you first. Rome, how you feeling today this week, man? Or this week, week 8? How you feeling?
I'm ready to go. Week 8, almost halfway through the season. Big slate this week in terms of value. I like to play some. I like weeks like this specifically. Well, we'll get into it, but I like weeks like this specifically because I feel like this is right when people start getting tired of football for their first little, they catch that first win, not necessarily too eager to bet these games. So I think we'll get a little lazy on these lines. We'll be able to find some value with some of these better teams. So this might be one of those random weeks where you find me just laying a lot of points on favorites, in situations that I might not necessarily do otherwise. So this little week period from a week 8, I would say going up to about week 11. Week 12, things seem to ramp back up with playoff and everything else. But this little 4-week month section right here in the beginning of basketball season and every other way as to why you could have your attention watching something else or handicapping something other than pro football. This is what I love right here.
All right, Rome. That's Rome, the People's Champ, at RomyRome _ on Twitter. Soundman, how you feeling this week? Week 8, we're back.
Feeling good. Coming off a nice little weekend, ending to my weekend yesterday. So I'm
You hit your same game parlay,
hit
right?
the same game. It was a decent weekend for me. No Soundman special. I usually toot my own horn here at the beginning here, but no Soundman special last week.
No shout out to the governor of the state of Maryland either, huh? Because I'm sure that bet couldn't be placed in that state, huh?
Not yet. We'll get there. But no, feeling good. Got a couple SMSs for this week, so we'll get into it.
All right, and we got our guy back with us. He calls it the 6th man, Mike Curry, host of Curry and the Pop podcast as well. Mike, how you feeling? Back with us week 8.
Yes, sir. I'm good, man. It feels good to be back. I usually had a core 4 and in Paris. So I'm the 6th man. So it's good to be back, man. Had a little bit of a rough week, but the Monday morning pod best bet hit. So make sure y'all tapping into that. But I'm good, man. It feels good to be back. Every time I'm on here, I feel like I got called up from AAA or something. So it feels good.
First of all, that's hilarious. But yeah, Mike is me and him. We co-host, we're not co-hosts, but we're guests on the What's the Line Monday morning podcast. We'll host Jordan, the Saints fan, big Saints fan. Shout out to them. They got the W this past Monday Night Football. I'm your host, the meticulous Mark P. Once again, back again. Also host of the Annie Up University podcast. Shout out to Oklahoma State. But I won't get too much into that. Shout out to Rome as well. Your bet hit. So we did our thing this week, college football. But this is where the professionals play. Week 8. Let's get right into it, gentlemen. Thursday night football. Packers, the COVID walking around Packers are at the Arizona Cardinals. Cardinals favored by 6.5 currently. Total of 50.5. Rome, I'm gonna start with you. How do you feel about this game?
You got to start somewhere else because I don't understand that line. And obviously, it's early in the week for us to be handicapping it. But for this Thursday night game, this line is it's I would say it's near where it's going to be. The big move from this line from 3 to 6 has already happened. So I mean, obviously, I think we can talk through this line as 6 or as 6.5. But I honestly don't understand how it got there. Can someone elaborate or got any insights to why the Cardinals are got 3 points on juice over the opening line? I mean, we talk about sports books and specifically bookmakers, guys who make the lines. They always say, if a line moves about 4 numbers off the opening line, that was a bad line put out. So this line is teetering that position here, moved 3 points already, 3.5, because I see opener at 3 and now I see 6.5 on some boards. So I'm just not understanding, is the line bad? Or you see what I'm saying? I'm kind of lost as to what this game really bodes for the Cardinals. I mean, 6 points at home is steep, but you were just laying 3 on the world opener. So it's obviously some big differences as to what the public, sharp bettors, and books like on this line. I probably will watch this line all the way up until game time and probably end up staying away at 6.5. That's just really steep.
Yeah, for me, I'll try to like give some brief background into this. So this is similar, I think, to what we saw last week with that Cleveland game. Line just moved crazy after a certain amount of injuries. So right now, Devontae Adams. I'm going to say Parker. Yeah, Devontae Adams is on a COVID-19 reserve list, so he's doubtful to play. Still is a possibility. So I mean, that does speak to the line moving a little too much for the possibility that he still may play, but it's doubtful. Alan Lazard also was added to that list today, the COVID list. So
at this point, it's one injury away from cluster injuries at the wide receiver position, which is probably the most important position on that football team.
Valdez-Scantling has also been out, and he's the number 2 receiver. So at this point, it is cluster injuries.
Cluster injuries and having to travel across the country, going east to west.
Correct. And the Cardinals, what I can say is that I thought they were, probably like keying in on this game, even when they had to face the Texans last week. We know they were laying a big number. They covered that spread though. But they were probably focusing on this, understanding a big matchup coming up. And I just think it's going to be really tough for the Packers. We know Devontae Adams is number 1 receiver. I think he does move the line, at least, to whether it's a half a point, a whole point. I mean, that's debatable, but he is one of the receivers that does move the line.
He's one of few NFL pro football players that will move a line that are non-quarterbacks. So there's only about 10 players in pro football that when you see them out, you should say, okay, this line, or they should be accounted for in the movement of that line. It's not, your random second string cornerbacks or your slot receivers. It's none of that. It's the top 10 players in pro football, and they're at very specific positions. Devontae Adams is one of the most important, obviously, because how much Aaron Rodgers relies on him. Aaron Donald would be one of those players. So whenever you see, marquee players, and only top 10, not just anybody with a name, marquee players that are non-quarterbacks, most of them do not move lines. Alvin Kamara is another guy who will move a line. Those type of guys that are very important to the success of that overall unit, offensively or defensively, non-quarterbacks will move a line. But like I said, there's only about 10 of those players in the entire league. And if there's more, if there still is line movement outside of those 10 players, we can accredit that to cluster injuries, that being multiple injuries at a specific position. And so it seems like right here, we have both. We have one of the 10 players in pro football that moves a line, and then they're also banged up all across that wide receiving core. So I guess we just understood as to how this line got up to 6.5 so quick.
And I just lean with the Cardinals at 6.5 because I've learned over the last, I feel like this year specifically, 6 is the number I want, not 6.5. And if those of you that will take a 6.5 out there,
the points, right?
Well, I'm just saying if I'm laying the points, I want 6. I don't want 6.5.
Okay.
And if you do have 6.5, you might want to hedge it with will there possibly be overtime, which would be a lot of plus money. But that's besides the fact. Right now, I'm going to lean with the Cardinals minus the 6 points. Getting a little healthier. I think Rodney Hudson is coming back this week. I know Chandler Jones is coming back. He's been out the last 2 weeks. They've been ready they've been looking towards this game. The Cardinals have. The Packers have struggled passing the ball. They were 21st in the league coming into last week. Now they're 18th because they saw Washington. So you know how that goes. But I just think that they're going to have a tough time throwing the ball. Cluster injuries at the receiver. We know how Aaron Rodgers can get when he's getting, attacked. We've seen in the past against those 49ers defenses, they'll sort of crumb up, try to move on to the next game. It's only one game. It's not in division. So I think they'll just kind of try to move on. So I lean at the 6.5, but I like it at minus 6. Mike Curry, what do you think about this one?
Yeah, I lean Cardinals in this spot. I've been torn between how I look at this team. I backed them once, but I don't want to fade them. I just feel like what they're doing is something special. And when a team is doing something special, I guess the 15-1 Panthers, I'm not necessarily comparing the two teams. Obviously they're two different teams. Panthers had a great defense, but I don't really want to I just don't want to step in front of them. And then with the, all the receivers out, I couldn't back the Packers if I wanted to. I mean, Aaron Rodgers is great, but it's only but so much. I mean, Randall Cobb is the only receiver there, him and Robert Tine. I can't really back that. So, I'm just leaning with the Cardinals.
The more we talk about this, the more the Cardinals are really just the only side you could play in this game.
Oh, for
And
sure.
the books aren't giving you free points to catch. The injuries are real, cluster injuries, obviously, and a team at home that doesn't have to travel. Okay, fine, they're eating the points, but they were already going to catch 2 for travel. So this goes from a 1-point game in terms of differential from the opening line at 3, getting 2 for home field advantage. And now it's basically just a 4-point line at 6.5, and I'm not afraid of that at all. So, like I said, the only way I can play this is Cardinals. It's gonna have to, be more dependent on what this closing line is Thursday evening.
All right, Sal, man, what do you think about this game, Thursday Night Football?
Yeah, I really didn't have too much for this game. Full disclosure, I didn't get to watch my guy Aaron Rodgers on Aaron Rodgers Tuesday, so I have no idea where his head is. I'm glad you guys talked through everything. It pretty much swayed me to lean Cardinals. I think, as Rome said, it's kind of the only play here. The Packers kind of been playing, pretty subpar games against subpar teams. They're not like blowing these guys out. Now here you are about to play the 7-0 Cardinals at home on a short week, as you guys all said, with cluster injuries. I don't think they have a chance here. Not gonna bet it though. You never know. But if Devontae was here, I would feel more inclined to maybe do something with the Packers. But I got nothing for him here. I'm just leaning Cardinals here.
All right, should be noted. Cardinals, since this Kyler Murray era, 16-9 against the spread, non-division games, 12-6-1 against the spread after a win. So those guys tend to.
And almost none of those games they were laying points. That is also noteworthy, though.
I don't think so. I mean, they were laying.
How about this? They damn sure weren't laying 6.5
in 2020. I mean, in 2021.
Yeah. No, I'm saying with the numbers of the ATS record, I'd be willing.
But I'm saying after a win, they're 7-0 right now, right? So that's 6 games after.
Oh, God, yeah, that is true.
Yeah,
that's 6 games automatically.
Right. All right. So next game. Oh my gosh, the fucking Carolina Panthers at the Atlanta Falcons. Falcons favored by 2.5. Total 46. Soundman, talk to me. What do you think about this game?
Stayed away.
All right, Rome. What do you got for this game?
This line's going to be all over the place up until closing, and I too would like to stay away from this game.
It's also a stay away from me. Mike Curry, you got any thoughts on this game? Panthers at Falcons?
I feel like I gotta say something just because everybody stayed away.
It's fine. We can really get past this.
No, I don't have nothing for it. I don't know what. Yeah, they put CMC on IR. I don't know. Rome, I just want to ask you: Is Sam Darnold a professional quarterback though?
We might start the bot off of this.
No. I don't know. Is he a longevity franchise? Is he a franchise quarterback? No.
He was doing good when McCaffrey was there.
Yeah, they were also playing the Texans and the Jets. So,
yeah, all right, we can quickly move on from that game.
Thanks.
Next game, Dolphins are at the Bills. Bills favored by 13.5, total of 49.5. Give some against the spread records. Bills 14-8, 14-8-1 against the spread, home fave under the Sean McDermott era. 13-11-1 against the spread, division games. 14-12-1 after a loss. The Dolphins 10-5 against the spread as a road dog, but most of those, I think they were 10-1 against in that spot before this year. So they've been taking some L's there. Soundman, start with you. What do you think about here? Are you backing the Bills Mafia?
Yeah, I'm definitely backing Bills Mafia here. 35-0.
13.5.
35-0 the first time they played. Bills just came off a heartbreaking loss going into their bye week, stumbling. Our guy, Josh Allen, stumbling on the goal line to possibly win the game against the Titans. You take that, you go into the bye week, and then you're back home with the Mafia behind you playing your divisional opponent that you just slaughtered 35-0. And you didn't even you weren't even clicking on all cylinders in that game personally. Josh Allen didn't even play a great game that day. You still won 35-0. I don't care about the 13.5 here. I think this is another slaughtering game from the Bills against Miami. Tua looks terrible. So let's get right after the bye.
We're doing this on a Zoom call and we can see each other in these square boxes because that's the squares handicap I've heard all year thus far. They're in division. They're laying double digits. They blew them out the time prior. We know that. We all saw it. The book saw it. Numbers 13.5. Dolphins, this might be their last hurrah for Brian Flores. So he's going to coach his ass off this week because if not, he's possibly fired. And like I said, familiar opponent, Flores in New England, familiarity with the Bills, with what they have. We got it. Bills been on a 10-day rest. Bills lost the game before the bye. Bills don't need any more max motivation than seeing the Chiefs and the Ravens lose. So let's not seem like the Bills are going to have added motivation. And what are they going to do? Go 110%? Like it doesn't really matter in terms of motivation. And this line is too steep in division. If we watch the film on that Miami game, they were in that game the entire game this past weekend. Tua looked improved. Not going to say he looked great, but he looked improved. And specifically the in-game adjustments that I saw from the offensive play calling on the Dolphins gives me more merit and more reason to want to back the Dolphins because they do seem like a team that's getting better. Everyone on that team, you would say, everyone that's important or that's impactful are fighting for something. Flores is fighting for his job. Tua is fighting for his job. So you have max motivation. You're in division. You're catching 13.5. That's one of those numbers. We talk about all these other sports, and I mentioned all the other sports, but oftentimes we forget the sport that it originated in, and these football numbers that don't cover 14.5, 13.5, 10.5. They just don't seem to cover. And in division, I'm not laying 13.5. I like the Dolphins here. And I'm playing the Dolphins for sure on this game, but I think it's just going to keep going up. So I think I'll catch it at 14.5. But there's no need to rush and play the Dolphins right now because no one's rushing to the counter to play them, and neither am I. I'm just going to sit back and let this Bills money come in, and I'm probably going to pound the Dolphins. So I like the Dolphins in this spot. I mean, they can't run the ball. They can't pass the ball. So going through the stats doesn't really do you any justice. I like the Dolphins because of the number and because of the matchup of in division. We know what the Bills are on offense. We know what they are on defense. Give me the Dolphins. This is a line play, and this is a play on the line I love fading.
All right, Mike Curry, what do you think about this game? Bills favor about 13.5 in division against the Dolphins.
Yeah, at the number, I lean Dolphins. Like Rome said, it's going to keep going up, but it's just a lean. I was trying to look at the Bills schedule to see who they were looking ahead to, but damn, they play the Jaguars next week and then the Jets the week after. Like, who are they really about to look ahead to?
It sounds like this is the beginning of them being flat, possibly. One of these 3 weeks are going to be flat.
Yeah, I think one of these couple of weeks could be flat, but I mean they are coming off a bye, so I don't think,
and a loss.
So I don't necessarily think this one would be the week, but yeah, I'm just gonna lean Dolphins at that number. But yeah,
for me, I'm gonna lean with the Bills here. I think at 13.5. I think this Dolphins team is truly awful. Offensively, though, they're getting better with Tua because I feel like they're auditioning him. So they're letting him throw more than stop. Just I guess keeping him protected. So they're doing their thing there. And the over 49.5 is definitely should be in play. I think this is the Tua game that he got hurt in, right? He got hurt in this game early in the season.
Don't make me lie.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So Tua did not really play in that game. I think he has shown the last couple of weeks he's much better than the Jacoby Brissett's of the world, and they really blew out Jacoby Brissett in that game. The Bills did. So, but I will say this Dolphins team is really bad. You could just prop all over the place. I like this Bills defense. So I think that the Dolphins may struggle here. But in the first half, I'll take that Bills. You'll probably get it at 6.5. I'll probably take that before the full game. But I think this Bills team is definitely going to come out focused. I don't think it's a letdown spot for them at all. But yeah, 13.5 is a lot in division. It's tough to back.
I can't wait to text Rome at like 3 p.m. on Sunday talking about how square I was.
Bills winning ticket, because if you're talking anything else, it don't matter.
I understood.
You better send me a photo with you that Bills 13.5 cover.
I'll put them in one of those parlays that you hit. So.
All right, let's move. Oh my gosh, 49ers land 3.5 at the Bears.
I love these type of weeks.
Total of 39.5. That's not too many points. Rome, what do you think about this one? Bears underdogs at home, 3.5.
Well, just full disclosure, I was on the wrong side of 49ers the other night.
Can't back those guys, man.
Can't back them.
About them.
And I mean, I just the last game film that I finished watching at the end of this week was the Bears-Bucks game, and it was just. It's kind of surprising. Someone on this podcast will say that the head coach is tanking for the Bears. I do not personally agree with that. However, he's not putting those guys in a position to win best. The Bears look they look self-sabotage like on offense. I mean, they have the 7th best rushing attack in pro football, yet they refuse to run the ball on short yardage situations, then forcing their young quarterback to convert third downs. I don't give a damn if it's 3rd and 3 or 3rd and 8. Third down is third down, and it's much harder to convert that as a rookie when people are coming after you and they're sending blitzes from all over the place. So the Bears aren't running the ball, although they're very good at it. And then, on top of that, you talk about a defense we've been talking about for years that's supposed to do this, supposed to do that. It's got 38 hung on their head in Tampa, and I'm over it. I'm over thinking that Bears defense is going to show up. This is one of those lines that I hate playing on the road. 3.5, I'll lay it right here. Obviously, I think the 49ers feel as though they're still, very much so alive in the NFC West. You think they're dead? You think they think they're dead in the water?
Yes, they should be thinking that.
I don't think so. They still got opportunity.
2-5.
I don't think there's any doubt of them thinking that they're not dead in the water. Specifically they go on the road, they get a win here, they fix it, and then they're back on the road next week, and and 2 road wins will solve a lot of problems. 3.5, 49ers laying. We understand they're 5 and 6 ATS in these spots as a road fave since 2017. Got it. This is where they find 500 and they cover, because this Bears offense it's just not going to work. Nick Bosa and the likes are going to be after him. And I think Kyle Shanahan will find his way to, somehow find Jimmy G his next job by allowing him to throw off play action and run and stretch and bootlegs and this, that, and the third. I think they're better off with Jimmy Garoppolo as opposed to Trey Lance at this very moment. And, like I said, I still think the morale and motivation is still there for the 49ers in this spot, specifically on the road, specifically after losing at home in primetime. So I'll lay this 3.5 here with the 49ers. I'll just keep an eye on this line, though, because I don't think it closes at 3.5. Look ahead was 3.5. It's stale and it's still at 3.5 here tonight. Doubt it closes at 3.5. I could see some more 49ers money coming in. So we'll just keep an eye on this line. But I could see this line closing at 4 as opposed to 3.5, or the opposite, that being 3 or 2.5.
Yeah, for me, quickly, I just lean with the 49ers minus the 3.5 simply because I think they're the better team. I would not bet the 49ers, though. I'm sick of Kyle Shanahan. I've been saying that all year, and I'm just not going to back him.
A lot of people seem to feel like that. What's your reason?
So just a lot of ego involved there. I don't believe he wanted to draft Trey Lance. I believe that was the Elway, president's type of thing. So you draft your first round pick is not playing this year because I think of the coach's ego. Your second round pick last year, Brandon Ayuk, is not playing because of, I think, the coach's ego. Your third round pick this year, Trey Sermon, is not playing because I think of the coach's ego. It's just, and I understand they can run the ball. So I like the team total over here for the 49ers. I think they're going to be able to run the ball on this team and throw the ball. A lot of Deebo Samuel, cross routes. I can really see them taking advantage of this Bears defense, especially once the morale gets down in that second half. And like I said, this guy does have an ego, Kyle Shanahan. I think he wants to score points, put up those points after his team hasn't done it in a few weeks. So I'll take the team total over here for the 49ers, but I'm not laying a 3.5 with them. Even though I know their defense is good. The cornerbacks are not, but that defensive line is still pretty good. Mike Curry, what do you think about this one?
Wait, right before Mike jumps in, just one last thing. These 49ers, their next scheduled teams, Cardinals, Rams, both at home. They need this win. They need it.
That's where I was going to go in my handicap too.
Because, they don't get this win here. They're already 2-5, and they're possibly staring at 2-7.
Yeah.
So there's, all the circumstances understood. Bears are fucking out of it. Okay, they're not doing it. They're just not going to do it. Justin Fields is going to do it under this coach. We can reevaluate him under a coach that cares and a coach that doesn't put him in position, but the offensive line is terrible. And the 49ers, they need it here because they have the 2 best teams possibly in the NFC next week. So, yeah, that's all I wanted to say. Though. They do have a big schedule coming up, the 49ers.
All right, Mike, what do you think about this game? 49ers laying 3.5 on the road.
Yeah, lean 49ers. I know we talk about 3.5 on the road doesn't cover. I think not last week, but the week before it covered in a couple of instances. But whatever.
Bills covered it in Miami when they won 35-0.
Yeah, but I think like 2 weeks ago it covered like twice. But 49ers, if they're gonna do it, they have to do it now. They have to stack up some wins, and they have to do it. The Bears, Justin Fields, he just doesn't. I don't think Matt Nagy's like putting him in position to succeed for real, but I
He's
also
not.
don't think he's necessarily like a fast processor anyways. And you're gonna have guys like Nick Bosa firing on all cylinders. 49ers, they know they need to get this win. They know they need to get this win, or they're pretty much out of it. Look at their next two opponents after this. So just gonna lean 49ers in this spot right here.
Allen
Salman,
Robinson, star wide receiver for the Bears, threw Matt Nagy, his head coach, under the bus, so you could expect him to be shipped off this week.
Matt Nagy also COVID this week. It was announced.
I mean, it's just too much. There's too much going on in the wheelhouse of the Bears up there in Chicago, and then for a team that had a win total at 8, and people are optimistic about that, you can throw that ticket in the trash because this team is just all out of sorts.
All right, Salman, what do you think about this game? 49ers laying 3.5.
I'll start by saying I like everything you guys have said. I'll go from there and say the Bears stink. Really bad. Rome was referencing me when he was talking about some coaches tanking. I think Matt Nagy is tanking. He is not setting up his team and or his quarterback for success, putting another guy at this point. The Niners, I think they're done. Win or lose this game, they're 2-4. You're staring at a 6-1 team and a 7-0 team in your division, and now you're trying to get a 7th seed in the NFC, which is pretty gridlock at the top. So this game really doesn't mean much to them. I mean, obviously you win, it's good, but like you said, I got 2 other games after this that are pretty big. So they're pretty much done here. Like P said, he's over Kyle Shanahan. I've been saying I'm over this 49ers regime. I think ever since that L in the Super Bowl, they just haven't been the same. And I think people want them to be that same 49ers team that they were then. And they're just not that anymore. They got pieces, but they just always consistently get hurt on offense. And also want to say that I was on the Colts side last week as well. Also heard a stat on Sunday Night Football that they lost 10 straight or 11 straight games at home. What a terrible home field advantage at that point.
Should have put their damn stadium in San Francisco and not tucked off in California.
Like, what are you doing? How do you lose 11 straight at home? Like, is this
Could have also got a dome. That weather was wild.
Nonetheless, I do like the Niners here. I think they win this game solely because, again, they are like the better team. They just been playing bad. They lost 4 straight as well. Very hungry team at this point. I think to Rome's point earlier, when we began the episode, is that this is kind of in the weeks where teams are like super hungry. There's a lot of bad teams in the NFL this year. There's a lot of teams that have lost a lot of games straight. I think this is kind of going to be the weeks where these teams that have lost a lot of consecutive games straight will probably get a win. I think the 49ers get one here on the road. Like Mike Curry said, Bosa's probably going to be at this guy Justin Fields' neck. And if they don't switch quarterbacks, man, this guy Fields, man, he's just not getting it right now. So I got nothing for the Bears. They stink. Like the 49ers here for probably the first time this year. One of my NFC
all on a team for the first time.
No, I'm not on the
not
49ers.
You're not on them?
I'm not.
I just lean.
I just lean.
I like them this week.
I'll see you at the cashier's desk. So mad when we're cashing that 49ers
with my Bills ticket as well.
I'll take the team total over. Maybe I'll meet y'all there. I'm not no sides. All right.
The angle P. I do.
All right, next game. AFC North. Steelers are at the Browns. I know y'all can just hear it in my voice. Steelers at the Browns. Browns favored by 3.5.
I will start with me.
I'm going to start with me. You know I love the dog here. I'm going to take the Steelers plus the 3.5 points on a roll coming off the bye week. I just think there's a lot of things lined up for the Steelers team. We know the Browns performed well against Denver, that fading Denver team. They covered that. What was it? 1.5, 2-point spread at close. They covered that. They played extremely well, running the ball down their throats. But I think they're going to have some trouble here doing that. I think not Kareem Hunt, but Nick Chubb is going to be back this week. Baker Mayfield doesn't look like he's going to be back. It's probably going to be back another week. But there's something about these AFC North teams as road dogs. So I've spoken about it previously here on the What's the Line podcast. But the Steelers, Bengals, Browns, Ravens, if you catch them as a road dog, they're all at least 55% or better. So those are teams that you kind of want to back in this spot. I think Mike Tomlin is going to have this team ready. This defense is still a pretty good defense. I know sometimes they give up the big play, but Case Keenum, show me with your receivers. I think they only got Jarvis Landry out there is really the big time receiver. And he left the last game hurt. You got Odell Beckham. He's still playing hurt. So there's a lot of things with the Browns. They really, picked themselves up back against the wall last game, but you're laying over a field goal here in division. I got to take the Steelers with that. Just a, great organization, head coach. They're really is great in this spot. 29-18-1 against the spread as a road dog. Mike Tomlin is. So I'm going to back them here. He's also 48-38-4 in the division. So I'll take the Steelers plus the 3.5. Give me the hook and possible best bet. Mike Curry, what do you think about this one?
Yeah, I lean Steelers. I actually don't think this line is going to close at 3.5. I feel like it probably close at 3 or something.
What are we seeing right now?
3.5 for the line.
3.5 Tuesday, October 26th.
Yep.
So 2.5, 3.5. Okay.
Yeah, but I'm gonna lean with the Steelers. Back Mike Tomlin off a bye. Browns they look wounded right now. You know what I'm saying? Like they just look really, really wounded. They kind of barely got out of that Broncos game, but none of us really think anything about the Broncos. But I'm gonna lean with the Steelers in this spot. Yeah, I kind of like them on the money line too. Yeah, I'm gonna lean Steelers though.
All right, Soundman, what do you think about this one? Browns favored by 3.5 at home in division.
Potential Soundman special here. I'm feeling really good about this. Solely because you already went that way. The last time my Soundman special was played, it was the Raiders. We and you were both here. You picked the Raiders, and they won for us outright. I love the Steelers here. Was asleep for the whole Browns-Denver game. Didn't see anything about them. I know they're super banged up, but I'm all here for the Steelers on the road. I think we can throw everything out when it comes to AFC North. I was super wrong last week with Bengals-Ravens. Stats meant nothing. So to P's point, man, these AFC North dogs on the road got something going for them. But I'm just here for Mike Tomlin off the bye week, going into Cleveland against the depleted Cleveland team, especially if Baker's not playing here. Like I love the Steelers here on the road, money line dog. This is a potential Soundman special. I think it might be the Soundman special this week. I love the Steelers here.
All right, Rome, close us out. What do you think about this game? What does that say?
He's got props
Go
now.
Browns, go Browns.
Oh man.
Go
Browns,
Browns.
the Browns, man. I'm telling you. Go Browns. All right. So there's a reason why I like the Browns here in this spot, and it's all about what Pittsburgh doesn't do well. So Browns, number 2 team in pro football in terms of opponents' plays per game, meaning their defense is on the field for the second least amount of plays per game, only second to the Buffalo Bills, who we think highly of. So the Browns defense knows how to get off the field. It's like, Rome, what does that stat mean? Their defense only plays why does the amount of plays that their defense plays matter? It matters because that means they're able to get off the field. If the defense is on the field all damn day, your offense isn't on the field, and you're not running the ball, you're not doing the things that you want to be able to do. The Browns defense is on the field the second least of any team in pro football. The Pittsburgh Steelers cannot run the ball. The Browns defense seems to be a little bit better at stopping the pass. They're top 10. They're top 2 against the run. They're top 10 against the pass. So a team in a defense that knows how to get off the field, and we talk about Baker Mayfield and Case Keenum. I was on the Browns this past Thursday night. They covered, depending on what line you got. But let's be very specific. Baker Mayfield and Chase Keenum, there's no real drop-off there. Mm-hmm. So I don't really want to hear – it doesn't really matter who's playing quarterback to me, to be honest. I would honestly prefer Chase Keenum. So a defense that gets off the field, an offense that's competent, that's getting back the running back at home in division, and then you talk about a Pittsburgh team that's owned this Browns team. Everybody's going to think this is the sharpest bet of the week. Everybody's going to think, this is the sharpest dog bet of the week. I don't think that's the case. The Pittsburgh Steelers have notably owned the Browns going back to before Paul Brown put the mics in the helmet. Okay, so that we know the Steelers own the Browns. Everybody in the world knows that. The Browns are still laying points. The Browns are still favored. Everybody knows the Browns are banged up. The Browns are still favored. So there's no way that I'm getting behind a team in the Steelers that is still pretty bad at running the ball, 29th in pro football out of 32 teams in terms of running the ball. And then they're middle of the pack in terms of passing the ball. And the only reason that is the case is because they've had a lot of passing yards and garbage time. This Steelers team is not fooling me. It's the same Steelers team that I thought they would be at the beginning of the year. This is the first year that Mike Tomlin will coach a football team that goes under 500. And I'm not sold by the sound bites and all the shit that's going on in Pittsburgh with the media and all that. It doesn't really matter to me. What I know is this is a Browns team that had a total team win share at 10.5 this year. And I can see that they're right on par to meeting that. And these are the type of games that they're going to have to win to turn the corner. And I do think that they have thus turned such corner, regardless of who the quarterback is. This is a Browns or nothing play for me. This is one of those plays that I will say, full disclosure, I would have thought I was being smart last year or years prior betting on the Steelers here. This is not the chance to bet the Steelers. There's nothing that we've seen from Big Ben that has shown us otherwise. And the one spot in which we did think they would cover, they covered. So it's over with. In division, catching points, 2.5. They're not giving you a hook for free. I think it closes around 2 because I think there's more Steelers money that comes in this week, and the Browns will find a way to cover 2.
Well, I mean, Rome, I agree. You made some good points there. I definitely agree. I don't think the Browns are as banged up as they were when we talked about
They're
them
definitely
7 days ago. They're not as banged up. They already got one offensive lineman back. I think the second one's coming back this week. So I don't look at them as banged up as they were, a week or so ago. But what I will say about the Steelers, though, I don't look at them as they own the Browns team anymore. I think the Browns are the better team. And the line says
historically.
that.
I mean, historically, the Steelers have owned the Browns.
Correct. But this isn't like the Steelers know who they are now. They know how embarrassed they got by the Browns last time they played. Like I said, you made great points, but I don't look at it as the almighty Steelers versus the small town Browns anymore. Like the Browns are like a legit team now.
I think you saying that the Steelers know who they are. I mean, that to be honest, for one, I don't think that's true. But let's just say it is true. They're not good at whoever the hell they are because they can't run the ball and they aren't passing the ball well. If you're 29th in pro football in terms of running the ball, you should know you're not good at running the ball, and you should be putting that much more effort into passing the ball, and you should probably be better than 15th at passing the ball. So I don't think they know who they are. I don't think they're good at anything that they do offensively. And I think that I do this every year with the Steelers. They line up linebackers on slot receivers. Their defense it somehow finds a way to shut people down via pressure and basically playing more physical ball. But this is a Browns team that's not scared, specifically scared in terms of running the ball right at the Steelers. Many teams don't do it. It's the same Browns team that walked into Pittsburgh and sent them boys home packing and had Big Ben on the sideline crying. So we've seen this already. So that's why I'm saying a lot of people are probably going to rush to bet the Steelers, revenge spot, blah, blah, blah. We've seen it already. They're not better than them. We just saw it 8 months ago, 9 months ago. They are not better than this team. And I think it's us trying to hold on to the fact that the organization and what we know about the Steelers and pass and bounce back spots specifically. Well, how about this? If you're bouncing back, it means you're losing. So why are the Steelers running into so many bounce back spots this year? We thought the Raiders were going to be a bounce back spot. They lose.
Question for you, P.
Hmm?
What's this 29-18-1 after a bye all about? That's Mike Tomlin. Just curious.
I just messed up. It can't be like it's not enough. That's
bad.
Enough, too many years. All right. No, Rome, make great points made. Honestly, you're turning my like to a lean. So no, definitely great points made. What I will say about the Browns defense though is I've seen them give up a lot of points, but it's been to electric quarterbacks, the Justin Herbert of the world. So,
we gonna have that problem this weekend?
Yeah, exactly.
Are we gonna have that problem with Big Ben?
I don't believe so at all. No, not at all. So, all right. Great points made. That's why we're all here, baby, in cahoots. All right, Eagles -3 at the Lions, total of 48. Rome, I'm right back.
Insert a Lions raw right here. Whatever a Lion sound like, insert that right here.
Gotcha.
Because we're going back to the well on the Lions for the 3rd week in a row. A week prior, I lost. To be honest, the Lions have been, if we're talking about just like sides and teams in pro football, the Lions have been the best money maker for me all year. I was all over the Ravens 7.5 at home, and obviously they should have bet against the Bears -3 in Chicago. And then last week they should have bet as well. But this past weekend, they brought us home. They brought us right back to where we thought they would. The line was too big, and they covered. They still didn't win. So they're still just as hungry. and they're at home. And they're playing against an Eagles team that's gotten way too overrated and too expensive. Are you seeing this line?
Fuck the Eagles, man.
Are we seeing the same line? Eagles laying 3.5 in Detroit. So I'm pretty sure everyone's seeing this line as the Lions suck. But the Eagles suck. I mean, Jalen Hurts has been running for his life. I haven't seen him make a clean read in like 2 weeks. It's gotten to the point where I know you guys say this often, seeing ghosts. This guy is leaving the pocket before he even has to, but I don't blame him because he's had to so many times that he's probably seeing defensive linemen who aren't even there anymore. I mean, This is a Lions team. I love this Lions team. All right, they know who they are. They ain't won a game yet. We got it. They're the last winless team in pro football. I got it. This Lions team isn't terrible. They know who they are. They run the ball. They run play action. And their defense just does just enough to lose every single game. But one side of that team is all right. Oh, Matic, I'm looking at you this whole time. This whole time, Sound Man, I'm looking at you. Because the Lions are not that bad.
Oh.
If they were so terrible, they wouldn't be covering spreads. Spreads are expectations as to what we think will happen between two teams. If you're covering spreads, you are exceeding expectations. They are covering spreads. That's all we can say. We know they're terrible. I'm not telling you go bet Lions money line. This week, I might tell you to do that because I might just be doing that because I like catching this 3.5 specifically at home. And this is the opportunity for them to do it. Like I said, Eagles offensive line, not good this year. Eagles defense, a shell of what it's still what it's always been, a shell of itself, bad defensive back play. And, you know, you got your heart of your defense, Graham out on the Achilles thing. It's a good spot for the Lions. Again, here we go. Lions catching 3.5 at home this week. I like it again.
All right, Sound Man, you backing your Snowman here? Lions plus the 3 at home.
We're going to get one.
We are gonna get one. I can't like the Lions again.
Don't be on the wrong side of history.
But no. Here I am, Rome. I'm on the side of I'm leaning Lions. Wouldn't play the Eagles. I would definitely, as you said, I played the Lions many times this year, and they've got me some money because they're covering these spreads. They're just not winning that damn football game.
Who gives a damn about that? It's podcast.
Man, what the hell more can the Lions do, man? These guys did trick play after onside kick. They got it all in their favor. What more can these guys do, man?
How about this? They ain't gonna need it this week at home because they just gonna go after Jalen Hurts because the linemen are turnstiles for the Philadelphia Eagles. So
there's another thing you said about Hurts, man. I was telling my friend Darius this when we were watching the game. It seems like every third and fourth quarter we just see Jalen Hurts coming out of the pocket, going to his right and just throwing out of bounds. They don't look engaged at all. The Eagles team, like the offense, they just don't. I don't see anything in them. Obviously, P mentioned it way back in a couple episodes ago. They don't run the ball. You run the ball maybe 2 or 3 times a quarter or some shit, if that. But it's just like this guy Jalen is just coming out the pocket and just doing nothing. So I just can't put my faith in my guy to win the football game, but I would definitely lean Lions here, man. Because 3.5 on the road for these Eagles sounds like too much to me. Like these guys are obviously hungry for a win.
It's down to 3 now. It's down to 3, but
I think that's still too much for these guys, man. The Lions, man. They need a win. They're hungry for a win. I'm leaning Lions here. I'm not gonna like them, but I'm leaning Lions here. Man.
The Eagles run the ball 23 times per game. That's best for 28th in pro football. That means plays in which the running play is snapped and handed off is 23 times per game. That's good for 28th in pro football. The Eagles are 15th in pro football in rushing. What's that mean? If you only give the ball off 28 times, but you're 15th in rushing, who's doing all the rushing? You're not the Baltimore Ravens. Your quarterback is running for his life.
Absolutely.
And he's having to make something out of nothing, and it's often nothing. And that is why they're middle. That's why the rushing yardage per game looks nice. But if you look at the attempts, they look terrible. And that's why their average looks great because the actual attempts aren't there to justify the actual total yards rushing. This team is terrible.
Yeah. Yeah, for me, quickly, I just lean with the Lions. I don't want to back them. I think they're sort of in could be a letdown spot after almost winning that game against the Rams. Not touching the Eagles either. They were a best bet for me last week, and just look awful. Give up 31 unanswered. The defense just I don't know. I don't know. So just
How
lean with
often
the
do we
Lions.
talk about a team that has no wins and say that they're actually better on paper than the team they're playing? I mean, it's not often.
No, it's not often. It's not often
And
at
this
all.
is the spot, and now you want to late points on the road. This is we love the Lions all year. This is the sexiest spot to play the Lions if we're talking theoretically.
I don't know if they're a better team. I just think they are in a better spot this week, man.
And this is the opportunity.
Absolutely. Wholeheartedly agree.
I'll go buy
All
me
right,
a Ford after the Lions keep covering all these damn games.
Mike, you also have a lean here with the Lions?
Yeah, I lean with the Lions. There's Eagles laying 3 on the road. I just don't think they're that much better than anybody.
3.5, Mike.
It's
3.5 on the road.
He
now.
said it's 3.
It's 3 now.
But yeah, I don't think they should be laying that on the road. I know the Lions are winless, but I just lean Lions here. They kind of showed me a little something last week too, so just to lean with the Lions.
Yeah, the fucking fake special teams OD.
Hey, do what you gotta do to cover that spread. It was never in doubt.
They did everything, man.
Once I saw them go up 7 early and they were the first team to score, I turned the game off and I just came back and watched the film later because I knew we was gonna cover.
They did everything twice. Like
Everything.
How the fuck you keep?
I don't blame them. Shit.
2 fake punts, onside kicks. Like, yo.
The second fake punt, to allow that was interesting, but I'll get to the Rams a little later. All right, Titans -1 at the Colts. Total of 51. You guys know me. I don't usually fuck with these AFC divisional. I don't know what it is. Sound man, I'm gonna start with you though. Titans -1 at the Colts.
Yeah, I love the Titans here. Just 1 point to win the football game. Obviously, you said it. I think we've said it before. Is this the second time playing this year already? I think so.
It is.
But as you said before, P, these games are always weird between the Titans and the Colts. I think the Colts are definitely catching their stride right now. But after 2 huge wins for the Titans, I think I don't think they're gonna overlook the Colts team, but it's just like, these guys aren't in our same league at this point. I think the Colts just came off of a good win at night, in front of the nation. Colts back at home here. They're still a little banged up, but I think the Titans are kind of rolling. Hopefully Bubble Guts, AJ Brown get back on track. He had a good game finally. Derrick Henry, still Derrick Henry. Don't got much for, the Titans. They just shut out the Chiefs as well. So hopefully their defense can build off of that, because that's obviously been their Achilles heel, defense and special teams. But it's only a point that they need to win by on the road.
Now it's going to close at, and I currently see 1.5 and 2 some places. So
I would still take that personally.
You want the Titans?
Yes, for the Titans. But as of right now, for a point, I think that's easy money for the Titans on the road. So I love the Titans here.
Yeah, was this line not 5.5 a month ago when they just played?
It closed at 4.5.
4.5, and so now it's at 2.5 Colts.
No, I said 1. Titans -1. The look ahead was 2.5 Colts.
Okay. Yeah, I think it's overreaction to the Titans beating the Chiefs. And I mean, the Colts basically just being a boring football team. Let's face it, the Colts, they're not sexy to watch, which in turn does not make them a very fun public team to bet on. And they're also in one of the smallest markets in pro football. So, options like this or instances like this goes back to my point that I said right in the beginning of this pod. Week 8 to 12 is when people get lazy and they start betting teams that just beat the Chiefs, who we don't think is walking on water anymore. So I don't think that win is as sexy as it would have been, maybe, 16 months ago. So, this is one of those spots where if this line gets out of hand, and when I say out of hand, it's at 1 right now, Tennessee Titans. If this line gets up to 2 Titans, I'm pulling the trigger on the Colts, and this is going to be a line play. These two teams, we go back to these divisional games, but they go back and forth. You're really flipping the coin in terms. You know shit about the AFC South.
No, seriously, it's
the only thing you know is that the Houston Texans are bad.
Yep.
The Jacksonville Jaguars are not too much better. That's the only thing you know about this entire division. So you kind of have to be objective. And specifically me, I'm one of the most on record. I'm one of the most prideful persons about how terrible that offensive scheme that they run in Tennessee is. So I try not to touch these games because I will fade them every single time. And that's why I'm leaning Colts here. But I'm leaning it for the line value. If this line that opened at Colts -2.5 closes at Titans -2, I mean, it's 4 points of line value that you can't give up. So it'll be Colts or nothing on this for me.
All right, Mike Curry, what do you think about this one? Titans at the Colts. Titans favored by 1.
Yeah, I do feel what Rome's saying, but I lean with the Titans in this spot. Omatic said that they're hitting the Colts are in their stride, but also the Titans are hitting their stride too. They won 3 straight. They've been looking sharp. I know Rome said you don't like their offense, but man, it's been looking legit over the past couple of weeks. They really showed me something in that Bills game. Especially
they looked poor in the first half of that game. They did fight back.
When they fought back, that's mainly what I'm alluding to. Yeah. Like, just because I kind of didn't think the Titans really had it to come from behind like that. I thought when they got down, it was kind of gonna be a wrap. But
they're really good in garbage time, and I mean, they were almost in garbage time in that game.
6 straight possessions they scored on. 6.
Yeah, which is hella impressive. But yeah, I lean with the Titans in this one. I know they won the first meeting, so I should kind of maybe be on the other side because I don't think there's a huge gap between these two teams. But just lean the Titans. That's all.
I mean, we should also mention it's a possible letdown spot for the Titans on the road.
Think so?
On the road a week after in division. I get
2 big games,
but I mean,
it's a division game. I don't think they about to look past the Colts. That's just my opinion.
How about this?
I definitely feel what you're saying.
They didn't look past the Bill. I mean, they didn't look past the Chiefs, obviously. They didn't look past the Bills, who they beat at home on the rematch of last year's game. But I mean,
I agree. It could be a letdown spot for them.
This is
coming off 2 big wins.
You just lost to you just beat the 2 best teams in pro football. You play Colts twice a year, every damn year.
Guess who they play? Guess who they play after? Yeah, Sunday Night Football.
They play the Rams
right after the Colts. You can definitely look past this game.
They look past it, but they also, how about this? Yeah, that's fair. Yeah,
you could look past.
It's a look ahead spot for them for sure. I'm gonna go quickly. I just lean with the Titans -1. I sent out a stat today, but since 2017, teams before Thursday Night Football 56, 61, and 3.
Hold on. Can you do that one more time?
Since 2017, teams before Thursday Night Football are 56, 61, and 3 against the spread. 15 and 21 against the spread since the COVID season started. So last year. So teams and the Colts fit that model. They played Thursday night. The following, what's going on?
Okay, that's where I was at. I was like, before Thursday Night Football, who plays Thursday night? So the Colts play on Thursday night next week.
Correct.
You're saying that teams that play on Thursday night the following week are
15 and 21 against the spread since the COVID, the COVID outbreak. Okay. So 6 games, but I mean, I had it since 2017. They're also 6 games below 500, 56, 61, and 3.
And is it relative to the COVID outbreak, or is that just like
it's relative to the teams before Thursday Night Football? But I'm saying that spread since 2017 is 6 games below 500. It's the same 6 games below 500 since COVID.
Okay, because that's what I was going to ask. So I was going to say is, obviously when people mention specific caveats to a handicap or to trends, it's just always like, okay, well, what was it without that or before that? Like, because obviously that is a incentive to mention. Right. Yeah. Okay.
The Thursday Night Football 2017 became like a staple every week. So that's where it originally stemmed from. And then I just did the 2020 and 2021. I just added them because COVID, has made a difference, I guess, in the approach of games.
This also is going to be a possible underplay. Lost on the Colts 49ers under, full disclosure, this past weekend. I want to say that line closed at around 44. Titans, they had the largest total in pro football last week at 57 and a half, 57. And then the Colts conversely had one of the smaller ones. Colts game goes under, Colts game goes over, Titan games goes under. So here I think they meet in the middle, and I think this is one of those in division, very familiar opponents type situation where this game could be a possible underplay at 49.
Yep, I do have a possible prop on this game though. Before we move on, the Colts have only gave up 2 rushing touchdowns to a running back this year, and that one of them just came this past week when they played the 49ers. So I played Deebo Samuel to score a touchdown in that game. And I think you should play A.J. Brown to score a touchdown in this game, and he did not score in the last game that these two played either. And like I said, the Colts don't give it up touchdowns on the ground. Derrick Henry didn't have one.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Basically, they don't give it up. That's perfect. That's sharp.
There we
They don't
go.
give up touchdowns to running backs, so play wide receiver prop any score touchdown totals. And another reason why that's such a sexy bet is because obviously anybody to catch a touchdown or run a touchdown is at plus money.
Right. But A.J. Brown's the favorite target. He got about eight targets last week.
Shit, I would play all of them.
Yeah.
Him and the tight end Forrester.
Fisker,
No,
but
tell me
nah,
that terrible
Fisker's a
Titans
bum. Fisker's all right, but yeah, A.J. Brown to score a touchdown plus money. Yeah, that's what we're doing. All right, so I'm going to double these up, gentlemen. Bengals are laying 10 on the road at the Jets. Rams laying 14.5 at the Texans. Sound man, if you had one bet to make, which either road favorite or home dog are you back in?
I'm gonna lean a home dog here. I know Paris would probably hate me. Sadly, I'm going to lean Jets here. I think we're talking about letdown spots here. I think this could be a letdown spots for these Bengals on the road, laying 10. Granted, Zach Wilson's out. But I mean, damn, like the Bengals, you guys just steamrolled my Ravens that I told Rome about 65 to 6.
Tag this right here. This is his sharpest handicap in ever. This is it right here. He already said everything I'm about to say. Go ahead.
It's a letdown spot for me. That's really all I got for them, man. Like they're coming off a super high, fat and happy, as we always say. Between the two, I mean, the Rams, we just saw the Texans. They had the big spread, and they didn't cover. So I got nothing for the Rams and Texans here, but I would definitely lean Jets here at home. I think Robert Saleh and them, they got something going there. You know, not now, but I think eventually. So.
All right, quickly with me, out of these two games, either would I back the double-digit home fave or double-digit home dog or double-digit roll fave. I will back the Rams here minus the 14.5. I think the Texans just really struggle scoring. Although the Rams, I'm a little weary of their defense. I'd rather take that than the Jets plus the points. I mean, the Jets, I don't know, like morale could really, take. I don't even know if Flacco's going to start. It's just too much, there for me. So I'll take the Rams, considering McVay 3-0 against the spread as a double-digit favorite on the road, especially. But close with the Jets, but I'll take the Rams instead. Rome, you going to take the Jets here?
Yeah. For listeners out there listening to this, this is probably why you should watch our live stream, because it's a lot of fun stuff going on in our live stream, and you're missing it if you're not watching it.
You gotta send this to Drew. Hold on, put that back up.
This is why, because you don't even know what's going on right now. But I got a postage sticker on my forehead that says JETS, Jets. I'm also wearing the same mink coat that Joe Namath wore on the sideline.
Roll Tide.
So roll Tide to that. Back on the Jets train. And I mean, Soundman really just he was sharp. That's why I said, once I heard what he was saying and where he was going with it, I was like, this ain't what he used to do. And that's why this is automatically easily the best handicap he's ever had, because it's sharp, it's to the point, and it's concise, unlike anything I do. Specifically talking about concise. Jets catching 4 here. Bengals after the biggest win in franchise history in the past 3 years. They're only laying 4. That's it. The line is too cheap to bet the Bengals. The Jets are the only side to bet here. Jets and Lions.
How about this, Ron? How about this? I don't know. I think I sent you 2 sheets. I think you opened the first one. It's clear that you opened the first one. Bengals are laying 10.
They're laying 10, bro.
They're
laying 10, bro.
Jets. Laying 10.
Jets at home. What do you mean?
Okay, so how about this? This is why I even like it even better, because 4 is a weird number. But 10. Look ahead, was 3.5. Open at 3.5, gets up to 4. Now up to 10. Going right back to the 13.5. Football numbers do not cover. 13.5, 14.5. And what did I say as well? 10.5. This line's going to land around 10 and 10.5. There's no damn way you're walking in there and I'm actually going to bet this tonight.
Rome loves the Jets. There it is. Rome loves the Jets. Salmon's with the Jets. I'll be the schmuck and take the Rams against the Texans out of these two games.
I didn't even know we were talking about two games.
Yeah, we were just talking about two games, both double-digit favorites on the road. Rams land double digits. Bengals land double digits.
I don't even handicap the Texans anymore.
They're fucking awful. Mike Curry, which one would you bet here out of the double-digit favorites on the road?
I am absolutely not laying 10 points with the Bengals. That don't even sound right. And Rams, I say this in basketball, but I think it's gonna be a smack city spot for the Rams. But I'm more interested in whatever their first half spread is. That could
first
be
half line at 14. It's probably gonna be 8.5.
Yeah, I think they'll be about 10.5. So yeah, but as for the question, because that's what I'm answering, 14.5. I'd rather lay it with the Rams than lay it with the Bengals. But first half for sure, that might be a best bet.
All right. All right. Next game. Really want to identify Patriots at the Chargers. Chargers favored by 5.5. 49 is the total. Rome, how do you feel about this game?
I don't want any parts of this game.
This is a tough one
earlier in the week. I did when the line dropped. Did lean Chargers. I don't want anything of it right now.
All right, Mike Curry, what do you think about this game? Chargers favored by 5.5 at home.
Don't this seem? I don't know about you people. It kind of feels like a classic Patriots, like at least cover type of game.
For sure.
I'm gonna just lean with the Pats in this spot. I know the Chargers are coming off a bye, but we don't really have any numbers on Brandon Staley after a bye, so just gonna lean Patriots in this spot. There should be some Patriots fans in there because it is in LA, but I'm gonna just lean Patriots.
I also lean with the Patriots. I just think that Baltimore really showed a recipe to how to beat the Chargers and kind of dominate them. I don't think the Patriots had to exclude too much energy against the Jets last week. So Bill Belichick is one of those guys really try to take advantage of that. This could get them back to 500. So yeah, I'll definitely go with the more experienced coach and the better running game against a Chargers team that's 32nd in rushing yards per game for opponents. So I'll lean with the Patriots here. Salman, what do you think?
Gonna love the Chargers here. This is gonna be a fan like right here. I'm just gonna love the Chargers here because I've been saying that I think the Chargers are a really good football team. Talked about the Bills backing into their bye week off a bad L. The Chargers back into their bye week off a bad L. And now you come out, you're back at home. Granted, you're playing against Bill Belichick, mastermind, of course. Really don't have too much of a handicap for either side here. I'm just really going off the fact that they came off of a bad L going into the bye week. Coming out the bye week, to Mike's point, we don't have anything about Staley after buys or anything, but I'm just gonna go here with the veteran team. Well, not a veteran team because the Patriots are a veteran team, but I'm going with the better team, period, off of a bye week to just win at home. I guess the number is 5 now.
5.5, yep.
Yeah, I think I like the Chargers here to cover that.
Yeah, first-year coaches, the best way to go or just find out how they perform after a bye is you basically just look at how they perform week 1 as opposed to the last preseason game because there's a week in between that. But obviously that's not, even playing field in terms of the players playing and whatnot. But that gives you a rough estimate, specifically in coaches. Well, only in coaches that are first-year coaches. Because
but even then, it's a small sample.
It's a slippery slope, but it's the cleanest. It's the cleanest you're going to get. That's the bye. That's the only bye they've ever had in life. And the more I hear you guys talk about this, it's definitely Patriots or nothing here in this spot. I basically just heard Soundman say, granted, you're going up against Bill Belichick and kind of rolled past that.
And he's a second-year quarterback. No,
he's the best coach in pro football history, and he's the second best coach in pro football history in terms of covering spreads. I'll take him here specifically against a team that can't stop the run in the Chargers. And, I mean, how about this? I don't think Bill needed a freaking script to learn how to stop a team. I think he can watch himself and, go through those type of things and figure out what needs to be done. I just want to point out Josh McDaniels is doing a hell of a job as offense coordinator this year because he has everyone thinking that Mac Jones is performing well. Mac Jones is throwing the ball, within 10 yards of the line of scrimmage damn near every play. That is not a play action pass play. So let's be very clear here. I'm not super loving the Patriots, but in this spot, I probably will because there's a Chargers team, as you said, we think they're really good. Okay, cool. Prove it to me. Lay 5.5 at home and be better than a team with a rookie quarterback.
Yeah, it's definitely a
but I'm not going to bet with
polarizing
you this
game
week and I'm going to say prove it to me. Prove it to me. Rookie head coach, second-year quarterback. This is Chargers supposed to have been this, that, and the third. How about this? 4-3 sounds more like the Chargers than 5-2 does, and they're 4-2 right now. So I could very much so easily see them 4-3 next week, and we talking about are the Chargers for real, as opposed to crowning them at 5-2 next week. So this is Patriots or nothing for me.
All right, bunching these next two games together. Jaguars at the Seahawks. Seahawks favored by 3. Washington football team at the Broncos. Broncos favored by 3. Both totals at 43.5.
I'm good.
All right, so Mike and Soundman, which home fave would you guys back here, and which one would you not? I'll start with you, Mike.
Seattle, probably who I would back. It's just a fade on Urban Meyer for real.
Yeah, we know he doesn't get into his playbook on his days off. You know, he's at the bar with strange women. So
yeah, it's a fade on Urban Meyer and the Seahawks at home. I rather back that because I like the Washington football team. So I say for home teams, I rather play the Seahawks. So
yeah, I feel the exact same way. I'd rather back the Seahawks here, -3 at home. I think we just saw that crowd is going to be, loud in there. I think they're still going to be dealing with that weather. And Geno Smith, I mean, they're going to improve. It's their third week into this. Their backs against the wall against a, Urban Meyer-led team. And like I said, I don't think that he's all in on his bye week. I think he has other obligations he's probably taken care of and gotten back to it the last few days or so. So I would take the Seahawks -3. In fact, I like them, possible best bet. But in the Washington football team, I would probably, go that way than rather back the Broncos at home. So I'll take the Seahawks.
The Jaguars are a better football team than the Seattle Seahawks. That's it. That's
Sound man, talk to us.
Yeah, so
now, currently, without Russell Wilson. Sorry.
Before you bunch these together, I definitely had the second possible Soundman special here for, sadly, the Washington football team. I hate doing it for us, so I'm definitely going to say Washington football team here. But I do like the Jags in Seattle. It might just be off of some, what I watched last night. It also could be just Tuesday. I'm feeling this way on Tuesday.
Your eyes were not lying. You saw what you saw.
I know what I saw. And, Jags off a bye. Urban Myers, who knows? He's at his pub probably this weekend. We didn't get a camera on him this weekend. Who knows, man? But I think the Washington football team is like I said, there's hungry teams this week. It's kind of a bad game because both of them lost 3 or 4 in a row. We lost 3 in a row. Denver's lost 4 in a row. Both of them need a win, but I just believe the Washington football team is a better team than Denver this week than what the Jags will be against Seattle in Seattle. So I like Washington football team.
Seattle is one of 4 pro football teams that deserves a true 3 in terms of home field advantage. What is the line right now? It's 3. So what's that put this game at? Neutral. The Seattle Seahawks and the Jacksonville Jaguars.
So, Rome, give us an answer then. You said you had nothing.
Jaguars or nothing. It's so Jaguars or nothing.
So you would take the Jaguars before you take the Washington football team plus the 3.
Absolutely.
All right. So that was our answer. All right. Next game, Bucks at the Saints. Bucks favored by 5. Totals 50. I'll start with me quickly. I just lean with the Bucks. They're just rolling on all cylinders right now. It looks like they're getting better week to week. I don't like their defensive backs, but I didn't like Seattle's defensive backs, and Jameis and the receivers couldn't really take advantage of that. So I just think the Bucks keep on rolling -5. I'll just lean with it though in division. We know the Saints took care of them twice last year, but a whole different kind of thing going there. Soundman, what do you think about this game?
Like the Bucks here. I'm only gonna like this off of Tom Brady bias. I'm watching Eli and Peyton last night. He's watching the Saints game. He's like, "Oh, I gotta play these guys in 6 days." He's dissecting the Saints' whole defense while he's watching the game and giving us a telecast here. The Saints didn't do too much against Seattle, and we just said Seattle's pretty much not a good team without Russell Wilson. Bucks on the road. Obviously, they beat them twice last year, so it's just like. No, they're rolling right now. Bucks -5. I love the Bucks here. Love Tom Brady.
Mike Curry. All right, what do you think about this game? Bucks favored by 5 at the Saints total 50.
Yeah, I lean Bucks, man. They've been looking sharp, man. I'm still not too high on the DBs as you said, but I'm not high on the Saints wide receivers currently without Thomas. But yeah, I'm just gonna lean with the Bucks, man, just because they've been looking good, man. Tom Brady's been throwing like 3 and 4 tugs a game. He been looking good. AB should probably be back too. So yeah, lean Bucks.
Yep, and I think it'll be a light for me. I just got to see if AB and Gronk is going to play. But Rome, you go the other way this year?
I don't want anything to do with this game.
All right. You look like you lean Saints. Okay.
No, I don't want anything to do with this game.
This is definitely gonna be an interesting one. All right.
Really just sick of watching Tom Brady play football so well.
He been killing it, bro. Remember, I took the plus fucking with the Dolphins. Bro, I don't want that Tom Brady.
guy.
I don't want that beef, man. He's on all cylinders. Last game on the board: Cowboys -2.5 at the Vikings. My bestie in the testy, Mike Zimmer. Total of 55. I'm gonna start with somebody else. Maybe you guys can help me out. Mike Curry, what do you think about this game?
Damn, why you coming to me first? I'm going to I like the over. I'm going to lean with the over in this one. Both of these teams are coming off a bye. Everybody should be fresh. Everybody should be ready. The Cowboys have been looking good. I want to see Trayvon Diggs go up against Justin Jefferson. But, yeah, I think a lot of points would be scored in this one. A little Sunday night shootout. But just to lean on the over. I don't really want to deal with the side.
I feel that. Rome, what do you think?
Sunday night shootout, close game. I think obviously at low spreads, you're kind of hesitant in playing the over. Specifically, with low spreads, people would tend to think that the spread and the total is right on par. But usually one of those things hit off by a lot in these close matchups. Either somebody gets blown out and the spread doesn't cover or even mean anything, or the total they're set in the third or vice versa, right? So here at 2.5, like Mike said, I'd rather have liability on the spread because the only side that I could play here are the Vikings. So I would rather have more liability on the total as opposed to the spread because the only play that I could do on the side is the Vikings, and I don't necessarily love them right here. So it'd be over 52. I like it up to 54. I think both of these teams can, they can.
You said 55 now, Ron. I'm sorry. You're looking at the old. I sent out two sheets.
At the old sheet. My bad. And
so
55. Without knowing what it actually was, that's why I said I like up to 54 because this line's only going to keep climbing. And I'm not sold on Mike Zimmer in terms of what he can do defensively these days. He's lining up guys, and he's lining up two linebackers in the A gap and trying to play mind games with quarterbacks week after week. That's not going to work, specifically against teams who know how to exploit that, which is on the edge and the flats with playmakers. Cowboys have those. Cowboys also can run the ball. Give me the over. Nothing else in this game.
All right, Soundman. Last game on the board. What do you think? Cowboys favored by 2.5 at the Vikings.
Sadly, want to say last two games, the week before they went on a bye week, I loved the Cowboys against the Patriots. I sadly love the Cowboys again versus the Vikings. As a diehard watching a football team fan, that is terrible for me to do. But I love the Cowboys here again. I think just like I said against the Patriots, in saying that this is a typical Cowboys, win type of game and just embellish their whole fan base. I think this is another type of game. Cowboys go on Sunday Night Football in Minnesota. I think to Rome's point, it's probably going to be a shootout, but I think it's going to be just like how the Patriots game went. It's going to be a last-second kind of walk-off touchdown that gets us past this 2.5 number that we're sitting at right now. I love the Cowboys here. Kirk Cousins, me, I'm just a fan of just straight-up numbers. Kirk Cousins, 2-7 all-time against the Cowboys. He doesn't beat the Cowboys. I would know this. He was my quarterback. He doesn't do this. I just think this is a game. This is
what does that even mean?
He does not beat the Cowboys.
Fans' perspective.
The fans' perspective here. He does not beat the Cowboys. He's 2-7 against
one person doesn't play the other.
The quarterback is the most important person.
He is, but he's
so
not.
What are we saying? He's 2-7.
Absolutely more important than the other.
Kirk Cousins lost to the Cowboys 7 out of 9 times he's played them. What more do you want, Rome?
I think that's something sexy.
That's a crutch. That's a crutch. He can't beat these guys at this point.
It's not even a full unit. It's one player. That's like saying Devontae Adams.
It's like me saying on the opposite side, Dak has only lost to my Skins once. It's something that you have to take into account. This is what it is.
Quarterbacks are not the other.
Quarterbacks aren't the guy.
I feel what both of y'all are saying, but it's kind of like a pitching stat. It's kind of like a pitcher stat.
No, because pitchers are the only ones playing defense if they absolutely have to. Kirk Cousins can't protect himself and throw the ball.
This is going to be a game. It's going to be a game where it's going to be, Dak has the ball and we're either tied up or we're gonna score a touchdown to win this game to win by
We?
more than two. We as in the Cowboys. You're gonna score. You're gonna get a field goal in this last second drive. You're gonna score a touchdown to win more than 2.5 on the road. I love the Cowboys
52 and a
here.
half says these two teams get 21 points. We've seen both these teams get no less than 21 points every week this year, except
55 now, though.
55. Since we've seen the Vikings, obviously, only score 7 against the Browns.
Let me change this to green.
Yeah. So I actually have a like on the first half under this game. It's at 26 and a half. I think, we see this total. We know both teams can score the ball. However, I've seen the Vikings only put up 7 points in a game, but I've also seen this Cowboys team only face teams that pretty much want to throw the ball. The Bucks, the Eagles, we talked about them now running the ball. So the Chargers are, they don't implement the run. They, Eckler, about probably 15 times per game. So last time they played a team, they played the Patriots, who ran the ball over 20 times, it looks like. I think this Vikings team, both teams want to establish a run, play a balanced game. I know the Vikings want to continue to do that and keep that Cowboys defense on the field, which we haven't seen much of. So I think when you have a defense that has to stay on the field, they start to look a little worse. So I think this Vikings team is going to be able to run the ball. The Cowboys team is going to be able to run the ball. And we're just going to see a low scoring first half, and the points are going to come in the second half.
The more I look at this game, the more I agree with you.
Yeah. So
I need to look at this a little bit more. I mean, the Cowboys are the third best team in terms of rushing attempts per game, and the Vikings are the 8th best team. So these are two teams obviously like to run the ball. We know how electric they can be on offense.
Right. And a Vikings team, how about this? That's probably looking at like, we don't want to keep giving the ball back to that Cowboys team, which we just seen. They have a walk-off against the great Patriots. I love the first half under 26.
That's a good closer right there.
That's a good closer. All
that
right.
just me off my angle for this game.
Yeah, I mean, but we still got time, babe. We still got time. All right, so that's it for us. Week 8. Oh no, silly me. Tease me picks, gentlemen. Tease me picks. I took the first L this week, man. Fucking Ravens. It was written. But that's also was just like, yo, we got to do the Wednesdays, because the Wednesday that line dropped and it was at 8, and I would have took the Packers minus the 2, which I took in real life, and got paid there. All right, I guess I'll start with me here. 6-point teaser. I'm gonna go with no, not that.
I'm quick. Jags and Lions. That's all I want. Jags and Lions. Jags up to 9. Lions up to 9.5.
All right. So Rome's gonna go there. Salman, you got one ready?
Yeah, Colts to +7 and Washington football team to +9.
All right. Mike Curry, you got one?
Yeah, a little pressure because I was 1-0 last time I was on here.
You just want to know you're undefeated still.
Yeah, I'm still undefeated. I'm gonna tease the Patriots up to 11.5.
Ooh, I like that too.
And I'm gonna tease Washington football team to 9.5.
All right.
9.
Yeah, 9. All right. So I'm gonna go also with the Patriots +11.5. That was the one I was definitely eyeing. The second one, I'm gonna go. What's 9 + 6? 25. I'm gonna take this 49ers Bears under 45.5 as my second leg of the teaser. So
what's the real line?
39.5 right now, currently. So I'm gonna take the under 45.5 with that.
I like that.
Yeah. So
that is the lowest line in pro football this year, 39.5.
Yeah, it's truly that bad for the Bears team. But all right, that's Tease Me Picks. We're still at a great high percentage, I believe over 65% total. So I got to get back on a winning streak. And what are the odds that I lose 2 teasers in a row? It says they're highly unlikely. So all right, let's get out of here. Best Bets presented by Bluehost. All right, y'all. I feel like that one went long, but I don't know how that.
Nah, if we go past 9, it's long. We literally right at 9 o'clock.
Yeah, and I guess we started about 7:40.
That's what I was gonna say. Yeah, he started
Yeah.
at 7:40.
If we go past 9, that's when it's like, all right.
All right.
That was good.
Yeah, good shit, Rome. You talked me off of that. What ledge was that?
with
Steelers
the
ledge.
Steelers.
Yeah, you talked me off that Steelers ledge. So.
Hell no. Love the Steelers. Fuck that.
Hey man,
We're not
listen,
doing this.